Hey Rockstars, Lidshaw, and I'm here at AES New York City, and I'm standing here with Charles at the Nugen booth. How you doing, Charles?
Good, thanks.
And Charles was just going to show us a couple of cool things about some of the new plugins that are inside. So let's go check it out.
So here we've got VisLM, which is our loudest meter. We've added a new feature on here for tracking flags, so it's just the same as it was before, except now you can, as well as being able to drop manual flags where you hear something change that you're interested in going back to preview later on, you can easily see where true peak overs are occurring, and you can navigate between them. So
this is the audio of like a stereo track, or maybe this is our whole mix playing through this plugin. What's the name of this one again?
It's called VisLM.
VisLM, right.
Yeah.
And so this basically gives us extremely accurate and thorough metering and shows us what's going on with loudness across the whole mix and all that kind of stuff.
That's right, yeah. And obviously one of the loudness parameters you need to be careful of is the true peak loudness. And this will show you quite easily whereabouts those true peak overs are and what you need to do to fix them. You can navigate back and forth to find where those are, and have a look at the timeline. It tells you exactly where they are and exactly how close to the limit you were, and you can go back and fix them. It's quite handy.
That's pretty wild. So the markers will let you drop in these markers while it's happening, and then you can just go back and see what time of the session that particular peak was at and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So the errors show up in red, so you can clearly see them, and any ones that you drop yourself show up in orange, so you can see the difference between ones that you're just trying to remember and ones that are actual problems you need to go and solve.
Okay, cool. And what's this little play, X, and pause and all that stuff?
So this is just for clearing all the information. So if you've done a massive change and you want to just start again, you can click on the X button. It clears everything out and goes back to start re-recording all the information. But one of the things VisLM does is the integrated loudness is actually the average over your whole recording, your whole mix. And with a lot of meters, you'll have to go back, and any small change you make, you have to go and re-listen to the whole thing again before you can get your updated integrated value. But with our meter, because it remembers all its history, all you have to do is go and play back over the small change you made, and you get your updated integrated reading.
Oh, cool.
Speeds up that whole process.
Yeah, that's cool. That's right on. And who's using this mostly? Is this equally useful for the mix engineer, or is it primarily towards the mastering, or is it sort of most useful for broadcast, or how should we think about this?
VisLM is used an awful lot in post and broadcast, although we do have quite a few mix and mastering engineers who use it as well. We've got another tool over here called
that's one I'm familiar with too.
Yeah.
MasterCheck.
So that's used more by mastering engineers. So it gives you the same loudness information. Over on this side here, you've got the loudness meter. Also shows you the peak to loudness ratio, which kind of gives you a good indication of how dynamic your audio is.
Now tell us what's going on here. Mobile, desktop, premium.
Yeah, so one of the features of this is it gives you the ability to preview what the audio is going to sound like when it's been streamed from some service. So we've got a load of presets in here for Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music and the like, and you can pick those, and you can actually switch onto the monitor option over here. You can listen to what it's going to sound like in each of those different formats. So
is it changing the level of what we're hearing, or is it actually showing us similar sort of down sampling processing that might be happening on the streaming software?
So what it does, it goes through the codec that that service uses, so it encodes it and then decodes it again, so you can actually hear what it's going to sound like.
Wow.
Part of the preset also gives you the loudness level for whatever target you've currently got. So this one,
okay, cool.
I think this one's Spotify, which is at -14. And yeah, you can listen to the various different versions. Yes, so the presets available here. So we've got all of the major streaming services are available.
Okay, cool. All right, that's great. And then if you want to listen to one of those versions of it, what do you click to actually listen?
So you switch monitor on here.
Okay.
So once you've picked your preset from up in the list here, so as I say, we've got Spotify listed there.
Yeah.
You then switch the monitor on and pick. So Spotify have 3 different settings based on whether you're listening on mobile, listening on desktop, or you pay for the premium service, and you can listen to each of those individually. There's also an extra feature here, a little delta button, which allows you to listen to the difference. So you can actually hear what's missing.
Oh, interesting.
So
Wow.
you can make some judgment calls on whether you mind the fact that that's gone, or,
Right.
or whether you're kind of happy
Wow.
with the changes.
Okay, cool. Now, there was another plugin I remember you showing us before. This guy that does some interesting things. Tell us about that again.
Yeah, so this is SigMod. We've recently updated it. Last year we added the ability to host other plugins inside SigMod. At the time it only supported VST3s. We've just updated that so that now it also supports all the VST2 plugins.
Well, what does it do?
And also, well, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And also audio unit plugins. So it's a utility plugin in itself. Allows you to string together a chain of various different modules. So we've got a mid-side module that can switch from left, right to mid-side and back again.
Yeah.
We've got mute solo in case you've got a plugin that doesn't support that for you. There's a tap which allows you to send some audio out to another track without using the built-in sends. There's a phase inverter. The rest. There's a monoizer, so you can do bass mono control. There's a text plugin that's really handy. We use this whenever we're developing stuff as an emergency thing. It acts kind of like a fuse. So when we turn that one on, I'll just show you what that looks like. It's literally like this. So it's got a limit there, and you can turn it on. And if the volume goes over whatever limit you set here, it just mutes it.
Okay, so basically you can put things in this plugin in series, or you can make things in parallel as well, or how does that work?
So you can just keep on adding. So if I wanted that and I wanted a switch and possibly add in a trim and maybe a DC offset as well, just to fix something in there. And you can string as many as you want together, put them all on here, and then you can attach them, turn them all on and off to the trim.
So wait, what did you do when you attached them? You just summed them to mono, or you
No, just
flipped left
this
and right?
one here, this particular one's a switch. It just flips over the channel. So
Okay,
imagine you recorded something and
Right.
accidentally you plug the mics in the wrong way around.
Right.
You can just plug it in there, it'll flip them over.
Okay.
But there's all these. So there's, as I say, there's loads of different ones in here. But the one that's most useful for a lot of people is the insert.
And how does the insert work? You can put in a third-party plugin, or no?
Yep. So in here, once you pick that, you can then go through the little search function up here. So you can go chorus. There we go. And you can find this podcast chorus. We'll shove that one in there. And then I missed it. There we go. And then you can just pop up there, and you can see we've now inserted this plugin, which is VST plugin,
As a stereo plugin across both tracks.
Pro Tools, which obviously wouldn't normally support VST.
And maybe I asked this before, but can you run two different plugins in parallel in there, or is it strictly for running them in series?
So you can run two different ones in mono. So you can have separate channels left and right if you wanted to, or you can have just the one that runs in stereo for the two. So if you wanted to, you could put in a mid-side control, which switch it to mid-side, and then put separate mono plugins on the mid and the sides, tweak them however you wanted, maybe add some reverb to the sides or
Oh,
something.
that's clever.
Switch them back from mid-side into stereo.
But I mean, if you wanted to do like parallel processing of compression and saturation on something, you could maybe do that trick with the mid-side plugin
You could, yeah.
and have this all on a single stereo track, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
And you can now, I think one of the other things we added in this version as well is previously you could only have one in there. You can now have up to 10. So you can have 10 different modules on.
Okay, dig it. And then that looks nice, especially with Halloween just around the corner.
It does, doesn't it? So this is a plugin we've had for quite a long time. It's been updated and tweaked a few times. This is Stereoizer. So this will take mono audio and make it stereo, or take stereo audio and allow you to adjust the width and depth of that stereo.
Oh, cool.
So you can widen out the stereos. It's used by quite a few people if they've got like the band recorded, but they need to put the lyrics in the top, and there's just a bit. It's you need a bit of space in your mix for the dialogue for the vocals. You can just spread out the instruments over to the side and leave a little bit of space.
Will this work? Will this take a mono track and make it stereo?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So it tries to find individual bits from the mono track and kind of keeps them together, but moves them out to the side. There's a few creative functions.
That's exciting.
Over here, you can turn on the dynamics and it will move them around, kind of gives you a bit more of a creative feel to it.
Awesome.
But generally speaking, yeah,
Right on.
just give you a bit of control.
thanks so much, Charles. That was awesome, dude. Thanks for showing us around. I'll give you a handshake there.
You're welcome. Nice to talk to you.
And let the rock stars know where they can find out more about you and go check these out. And do you guys have demos of these plugins if they want to trial?
All of our plugins can be downloaded from our website. You get a free 15-day trial. Just give them a go, see what you think. So if you go to www.NugenAudio.com, you can try everything out for free.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for watching, rock stars. Make sure to follow us here on Instagram and YouTube, and go follow Nugen as well. We'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.